This is the Sim Pit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, but the real star of today's show is you guys, the Pit Crew. Thank you for being here for today's edition of the Pit Stop, and happy Monday to everybody. Here we are to kick off a new week and have a lot of fun with sim racing, of course, because that's what we do around here. Looks like my camera moved. I'm so sick of things always moving. I'm going to have to, like, double, triple duct tape everything down so it doesn't move anymore. Anyway, I hope you all had a great weekend. Got out there, did some sim racing. I raced all weekend. Actually, I didn't do a single race over the weekend. Since the Friday night truck race, which was a tragedy for me. Bad crew chief by me. But anyway, this weekend I spent hours and hours and hours preparing for the 24-hour Le Mans race next week, Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. I thought we had it settled, but we might be changing driving time slots. Anyway, working with our entire team of 9 drivers to get prepared for this next Cummings weekend race, which I'm very, very much looking forward to. That's 24 hours of Le Mans, and I'm very proud of the guys and the amount of effort and organization that Brandon and Kimber have done to really keep the team as a tight-knit group, and we all know what's going on, and everybody is looking really, really strong, solid, and consistent. Very, very proud of the guys, and I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Because of this race weekend and it being the importance of the first Sim Pit official pit crew team, I'm probably going to downsize a few things this week. So just a heads up, the Friday night truck race is going to be postponed, and we're going to do a double header the following Friday. So we will pick up Bristol's where people have been practicing. We'll run the Bristol race followed by the Mosport or Canadian Motorsport Park track. That'll be next Friday, so no Friday race in the trucks. Thursday, I'm not going to be able to attend the Audi race, and Wednesday, I'm not going to do an attack the track in the Audi because it's all hands on deck for me when it comes to this endurance race. So I still have a little bit of work to do, some organizing to do, some behind-the-scenes stuff for the team to do, and that is going to keep me pretty busy this week. So forgive me on that. We'll have a little change, and we'll return to everything normal next week. So that's me. What's going on in sim racing? What about you? What do you guys do? What did you guys do over the weekend? Anybody get some good racing in? So Forza has been promoting their drift pack that's coming to the game. So they have a video showing off some tandem drift. I believe that was what it was. I don't know about tandem drift, but there's tandem drift. I said it. There it is. Oh, quadruple drift. So there is a teaser video for the Formula Drift Pack at the Forza Horizon or Forza Motorsport Twitter page. You can find that out. Also, just some cool images. I was looking at this image, and man, this looks pretty darn real. I swear, if I were to take some of that background out of it and change it out, like some of the generic fans in the stands kind of stuff, but I'm looking at this. Even the girl behind the wheel on this BMW just looks amazing to me. It's a beautiful, beautiful photo. Absolutely looks real to me in so many ways. I mean, sure, if you really, really look, you can detect that it's a render, not a real car. Anyway, some of the drift cars that are coming to Forza Horizon 4, or that'll be in Forza Horizon 4, I should say. Spoke a little incorrectly there. Gran Turismo talking about the Nations Cup, so they have some top 5 moments from Nations Cup 2018 video. You'll find this in the Gran Turismo Twitter feed, and you can head over there and check that out. Hear what went on with all of that stuff, and again, this is a big deal in Gran Turismo, and this is sort of them getting back to what we've known from them. It's been a while since we've seen the serious competition side of Gran Turismo. That we know about the FIA certified GT championships, you know, so lots of cool stuff, lots of prizes, lots of stars to be made on this one, and we'll be coming along pretty quickly. Jesse was doing some drifting. Awesome. Forza has some even in triple screen. Yeah, Forza is a beautiful game. I'll give it credit where credit is due for sure. Alright, what else we got? What else? Formula 1 has another teaser. So the 24th is the release date for F1 2018. And they have another trailer. And just showing off and getting people more and more excited. You know, I see articles everywhere. I cut a couple articles that were sent in to me today because it's like, yeah, I know. Everybody's checking out the gameplay. Everybody's read or heard the dev diaries. I mean, look at all these posts are kind of the exact same post over and over and over again, just by various different establishments, Formula One, Coke Media, Game Hype, WTF1, Formula One game themselves exactly. So lots of build up for that one. WRC, we talked about them finishing up the season. The eSport WRC Finals, the grand finale, or grand finals as they're calling it, is coming up August 19th. And they've brought back their live stream broadcasters from last season, which was Renee Butler, who is an ESL. Is that Electronic Sports League? I think that's what ESL stands for. And anyway, he's going to be one of the people. And then Bex Williams, who's an official WRC radio host. So there you go. You got that coming up on the 19th of August. I do not, Brad. They're very, very tight-lipped on that kind of stuff. They're very tight-lipped on that. They're good at keeping their stuff. Yeah, it's probably another driver announcement. It could be his big announcement, though. I'm expecting a big announcement from Alonso on a real-life driving scale any day, to be honest with you. But it might not happen. Race Room talking more about their FIA WTCR content. More photos. There's the Audi side-by-side Audi photos. That looks a little more potent than that TT that we've been driving, doesn't it? Also, their Mercedes eSport competition is ongoing. So here was the driver list going into it. Look at this. We know half of these names. We've talked to them. We deal with them. We've seen them on track and talked about these guys before. Jack Keatley being one of them in the number 4 position. Kevin Siggy, Yaroslav Honzik. Big names. Round out the top 4 for sure. And so that is heating up as well. eSport explosion. All right. We've been talking about this GTR 3 with the speculation, the job postings, everything you want. GT Planet has a little more information. So this photo and some information was actually posted on like the LinkedIn page and a few other places for GTR 3. Oh, here it is. This is actually Catalyst Games are the people behind Simbin at this point. But this is going to be at Gamescom. So August 21st is when Gamescom is going on, and GTR 3 is going to make its first public appearance at Gamescom. And anybody who is in the in that area, Gamescom, where is Gamescom? Bear with me. I don't have it. Somebody tell me. Remind me. Where's Gamescom? Is that in Germany also? I think it might even be in Germany. But there you go. GTR 3 is going to finally be official, in development, and will be seen by a handful of lucky sim racers who make it to Gamescom in order to check it out. GT Planet also has a cool thing on leaked photos. Just the other day, we were talking about racing trucks, weren't we? There's that incredible Volvo racing truck, old school Jaguar, Ford GT, and what's the red one? Is that a Fiat of sorts, or is that a Ferrari? Anyway, so some leaked photos. That's cool stuff. Not sure the red one. What car? Oh, is that a BMW? Is that the BM? No. I don't know what that is. Sunbeam? Is that a Sunbeam Tiger? What kind of car is that? Cologne is Germany. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was in Germany. I got that right. I got something right. Oh, look, the old school GTI, 80s GTI. That's a cool car. So all of this has been leaked. This is leaked footage. Look at that at GT Planet. And this is all for Forza Horizon 4. FA Racing, Logitech, talking about Fernando Alonso. Anyway, their guys ran at this ERS competition and took first and second place. So Isaac Price going home with 2,500 euro. And it looks like Joni Tormala going home with 1,000 euro for their efforts in that real-life, in-person competition. You can see a shot here of the competition. Kind of weird how much of this is going on, and I'm not seeing it. Looks like a Sunbeam Alpine. Yay, I got another one right. This blew my mind this morning. Derek Spear. Man, he is really cranking stuff out, but it looks like he is in the works of a modular design, button box built into a Formula steering wheel, getting into that, going after the OSW market and the whole world. You know, this is an explosion in sim racing right now when you think of the rate of sales when it comes to direct drive wheels. Even the podium, is everyone going to go to a Fanatic wheel, or are they going to look for other options? But here's the next best thing coming out of Derek Spear. Congratulations, he's pretty trusted. Now, if you want an over-the-top elaborate wheel made in Germany, Sim Racing Manufaktur has this thing. Look at this. This 4 paddle shifters, buttons aplenty, dials aplenty, tight, small looking wheel. I mean, everything's right there at your fingertips, it looks like. Made in Germany, 2017. Anyway, Sim Racing Manufaktur in Berlin. They were seen at Sim Expo 2017, but this is their latest, greatest. And that would be a pretty nice design to put on your wheel, on your wheelbase. No, I think I'm going to stick with the G. I think it's a Spitfire. Where was that story? Let's go back to that one. Let's play the game. Bear with me. We're going to cheat. We're going to cheat. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sunbeam. I'm pretty sure that's a Sunbeam. That's my guess. I'm going to go with the Sunbeam, and I think it's an Alpine, not a Tiger. The Tiger was a little more squared off in the back, if I'm not mistaken. That one. So, anyway, sorry to go back. I like taking distractions because you guys are the real star of the show. I've already talked about this, but it was posted. I'm not sure if it's the exact video or portions of the video mixed in with other parts, but iRacing is posted on Friday, the William Byron Talking iRacing with Fox Sports. So you'll find that on iRacing.com. I guess Triumph would fit too. Yep, you're right. That's 7 letters. Yep, you're right. Do we need to pull it back up again? I thought that looked like an S at the beginning. I guess that's what we do here on the pit stop, isn't it? Okay. Now, I think that looks like an S. Nah, I can't tell. That could be a T as much as it could be. That looks like it spells Sunbeam to me, not Triumph. Oh, GLC with a bold. It is a Triumph, he says. Straight up. Straight up. Well, that's always fun. So we got that video going on. We have another video here. This is cool. This is from the guys at WTF1. And they did a video here on how telemetry can make you a better racer and improve your lap times. They're at their simulator of this place, base something or other, simulators. And they're talking telemetry, though. And how, sure, telemetry is very important for the, you're working on setup. The engineers, they want the telemetry because they're going to use it to make adjustments to the car. However, at the same time, as a driver, you can look at things. If you know, and I'm not a big telemetry guy. I'm just kind of telling you guys, you know, my take on seeing a video like this. But even if you're not an engineer, you can look at these things: lap time, gear, speed, throttle, brake, steering. You can look at the traces of the way you're applying the brake. Are you being smooth? Are you doing funny, spiky things? I bet if I were to look at my pedal work, it would be a nightmare of bizarre behavior and mid-corner jumping on the gas to get right off of it. Weird ways of operating the brake and maybe not the smoothest steering wheel input in the world. Happy birthday to Billy Strange. Is he here? Billy Strange in the house. Happy birthday to you. Anyway, you can go watch this video at WTF1 on YouTube. And you might want to just give a little thought to what you can use telemetry for to improve your driving ability. Forget the crew chief side. I don't expect you all to be engineers. But you can be your own driving coach and look at what you're doing. And then think about, where am I on the track when I'm doing that? And is there a reason for why I'm doing that? And maybe you might try something different and find you pick up a 10th just like that. So there you go. Race department bringing up the topic that we, a little different way. We've been talking about esport in the Olympics, and us being sim racers, whenever we mention esport, we automatically gravitate and think towards sim racing. But reality is, when they're talking esport in the Olympics, they're probably not talking about sim racing right off the bat, because we're a little part of overall esport. So what about the other option? Or so what you have is Felipe Massa, who is like in charge of the karting federation, if I'm not mistaken. He is laying out a plan to have karting in the Olympics by 2024. Real life, not computerized, real life. So they did a little poll at race department. You know, do you think karting should be part of the Olympic Games in the future? Yes, no, not sure. Olympics, I couldn't care less anyway. I don't really accept that as an answer personally, because, well, you should have a higher opinion of the Olympics, in my opinion. But if you don't, whatever. But couldn't care less, then why are you voting? Go read a different story. That's my real opinion. Not sure. I respect that. Maybe you're not sure if it has the value or warrants. Is it typical? Is it the type of sport or competition that belongs in the Olympics? So before we even get to esport, does motorsport belong in the Olympics? Can you compare motorsport to track and field? I mean, I love racing. Don't get me wrong. But there is no doubt in my mind that it is an elitist sport, and it is only available to the wealthy for the most part. Yeah, pedal carts, Stu. There you go. Most Olympic events, not all. I mean, you can make the argument that skiing is expensive. Shooting is there are expensive sports in the Olympics already. Ice skating, gymnastics. You don't just become a gymnast. Coaching at modern level gymnastics is probably hundreds of thousands of dollars by the time your child is good enough to be in the Olympics. But my point here is, should motorsport be in the Olympics? And if you really want to chime in on their opinion on their poll, you can find that at race department there. Yeah, how do you make it an even playing field? It's like Brad says, the biggest problem with motorsports as an Olympic concept is, what would you drive? In track, I mean, are you going to have 100? I mean, you think of the track and field events, and it's like the 100, the 200, the 400, you know, the 1 mile, the 2 mile, or, you know, 15K, whatever you want to call it. They have so many different events, and that's just in the straight up running ones. Then you got the hurdle version. Then you got, so at the point that you get to motor racing, it's like, well, how do you just say karting? How is karting the one? That's not even the best of the best. It's the best karter, sure, but wouldn't it be Formula One if we want to be at the Olympic level? And then why would they bother? Anyway, it's an interesting concept. It's not a new topic. Maybe the esport version is, but there are a lot of sports that you have to kind of weigh and think, does it belong in the Olympics or not? So Steam King, yeah, I would expect you to have that kind of opinion. I know you well enough to assume that you wouldn't watch or care about either of those. No surprise there. Anyway, this is a cool article. It has nothing to do with sim racing. But, you know, the trucks recently ran at Eldora, both in sim racing life and in real life. So here's a great article at racingnews.co talking about the cost to run in just a single race at like Eldora. So it goes on, and I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag. He goes on to say there is sort of a window ranging from, here's on the cheap how you get in, and here if you want to go with like Kurt Busch Racing Trucks Company, it's going to cost you this much. I'll tell you, that is the scale that we're dealing with in terms of the cost. But the bottom line is, even if you go to the least expensive, even if you won the race, it would be no better than a break-even venture. So anyway, great article, and very worth the read, especially for anybody who considers a rent and drive type situation someday, which is how a lot of people do race from time to time. I agree. To me, Olympics is about athleticism, and I've always searched for the word. That is the word, John. Perfectly stated. Athleticism. So anyway, talk and drive. So the Alfa Romeo is a new mod coming to Assetto Corsa, And so the guys at Race Department did a talk and drive with the people behind what is a beautiful looking car. That's a gorgeous car right there. Probably going to be pretty fun to drive because everything old school just seems to be fun to drive. Am I wrong about that? Or is old school just always fun to drive? So you can check that out at Race Department as well if you're interested in Assetto Corsa mods. That one in particular. I told you DLC aplenty in the show. There's all sorts of DLC and things that are coming out we've been talking about today. So the Peugeot 308 TCR Racing Experience DLC preview. So they got a preview of another one of those WTCR cars for Race Room. And that's also at Race Department. BSim also talking about the Audi and the Peugeot. So again, this is pretty big news right now. This new series and a whole group of cars coming to Race Room, and it's being talked about all over town, so to speak. NASCAR Heat released a video on Friday showing off various different career mode details. So if you want to know how this, I'm not going to play the whole video because you know what will happen, but this is at NASCAR Heat or NASCAR Heat 3 career mode details on YouTube. And you can find out what's going to be inside of that. Oh, that was some cool stuff. So it'll show you some of the gaming aspects and how you engage team hiring. Oh, that's cool. That's some old living the life type thing. Oh, there's your garage winning races. That's what we all love to do. Oh, Chad Knaus even talking about it. Knaus. Oh, that was Sonoma. That was Eldora. That was Road America. That's Sonoma. Don't know where that one is. So, that could be very, very cool as well. Yeah, no, you get a lot of precision sports, Wolfgang, and some you could say take more athleticism than others. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, you know, let's be fair. When the Olympics were invented, it was a way of bringing nations together that had nothing to do with war, and it would be just a handful of events, and it was about athleticism. In the modern era, the Olympics are about money. I can't put it any simpler than that. They're going to fill the Olympics up with every sport they think. You know, they added BMX, and I love BMX, don't get me wrong, but oh, come on, they added BMX to capitalize on some of the X Games mentality. You know, I saw that multi-man skating race. Wasn't that in the Olympics this last year? Some of the snowboarding stuff that's in the Olympics. You know, they're going after the modern era and where the money is and making it so the Olympics are entertaining, and they are keeping it to sport. But I think that everything we've ever seen in the Olympics, there's never been a motor involved, allowing the skill to be a combination of driver and machine. The closest you could say that would be bobsledding, but even then, you're not talking about a motor. So I think that's one big difference that's going to really affect that. And they're not being an international standard of what is, like, you know, bobsledding. It's not like they have 100 different types of bobsledding. There's 3 or 4 types of bobsledding when it comes to racing them. So, Tom's Hardware has a write-up on the Ryzen Threadripper 2, 2900 WX and 2950. Just letting you guys know this is the new latest, greatest 32-core processor out of AMD. If you're interested in that, you can go read that at Tom's Hardware. Codemasters also talking about some of the new modes, the ranked mode coming to OnRush. So, I guess OnRush is getting ready to get competitive. Is this just for us to enjoy? Is this them maybe trying to take a step in the esport ability type direction? But we have new stuff going on with OnRush, introducing preseason and OnRush Summer Slam. Take on the whole world in ranked mode and prove you're #1. Unlock new celebrations, new epic character outfits, new epic vehicle shells, new epic liveries, experience bonuses, and new tombstones. There you go. OnRush from Codemasters. What else? I got a lot still. Jeez, we're at 25 minutes. Let me start blowing through these. I'm not going to blow through this one too fast. One of our good friends of the show, SimRacing604, did a podcast, and they've done a few. I know Billy Strange, birthday boy Billy Strange, was on SimRacing podcast. You'll find that as well at SimRacing604. But Mitchie Hoyer of Avid Chronic Racing and SimPit fame was on a sim racing podcast with Sim Racing 604 23 hours ago. So you can go listen to that and find out what types of things they talked about on that podcast and check out the other cool content out of 604. More leaks for Forza Horizon 4. They're leaking like a sieve over there, but apparently it reveals the Halo crossover. Not the first time we've seen Halo content in Forza before, with those both being Xbox or Microsoft proprietary games, both Halo and Forza. So that's some way they can have a little coup in something that nobody else can possibly have. No, there was no rant. No, there was no rant. It was just food for thought, no rant. I'm mellow. Xbox.com has an article here on how to master the 4 seasons. So another sim that is all over the news everywhere you turn, getting a lot of build-up, a lot of promotion, is Forza Horizon 4. So no surprise there. I mean, when you're nearing release, like F1 2018, you're going to, see more and more and hear more and more. So a little shootout here from FinalBoss.io. Xbox One X versus PS4 Pro. Which 4K HDR gaming console reigns supreme? So if you want to know the battle between the big behemoths of the between systems, being the Pro or the One X, I just say that because, they're basically kind of like half upgrades compared to next-gen consoles. But there you go. You can find that out. What else? I'm going to keep going because we're at 9:27. What was this one? Oh, so Steam. Apparently, this is the year that Steam is going to fall from grace. They have been the #1 PC distribution platform on Earth for a while now. And at this point, this is the year they're no longer going to be able to make that claim. And they are losing some really, really big titles that are going to cost them a ton of money. And these titles are going to other platforms that are being made available. So, for example, big news is that Fallout 76 is one of the biggest games out there from Bethesda. And they're ditching Steam. They're saying it could cost Steam $50 million, I think I read in a different article somewhere. It's insane how much money we're talking about them losing. What are the other options? Look, Discord. We use Discord. They're announcing they're about to launch their own game store. So it's a combination of, like, if you think of like Origin being a for the actual manufacturer distribution point, you think of Discord or other options. Steam's gonna have a tough year. It's gonna be a different story out of Steam coming up in the future. They're still gonna be successful. They're still gonna be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, but they're gonna take a big hit this year. True Achievements, showing off some Grip live stream. That was that combat racing game. Let you know about that. You can find that at True Achievements. So if you want to see and hear more about it, they actually did a live stream showing off some of its features. We know gamers.net also talking about grip racing. So on the gamier side of things, of course, we are, build up to this title being released as well. Come on, hit pause. I'm just going to close that one then. Flash sale, Gear Nuke talking about the big PlayStation Store flash sale. I'm just going to tell you guys, North American. So games under $10, more than $200 discounted titles. I saw Hitman here for $2.39. Anyway, Dirt Rally VR, $5.19. So that's for the PlayStation Store flash sale this week. It's going on this week, it says, and that was posted on Friday. So hopefully that's still good. NVIDIA RTX 2080 custom liquid-cooled graphics card pictured, expected in September. So looking here at Jagged Review, has this beast of beasts modern era video card as we anticipate and get ready for the next gen of video cards. Discount prices. NVIDIA Titan RX 3000 US, 50% faster than a 1080 Ti. That's what we have on the horizon, you guys. Sim Racing Observer has an article about the big change that iRacing is making. So the VRS, the Virtual Racing School GT World Championships, has always been straightforward GT3 cars, and they are making a change to the GTE spec vehicles, and that's going to upset some people who've worked hard on setups, as Jake Sperry of Sim Racing Observer goes on to say, but it's also them modernizing or getting with the times, with GTE kind of becoming tomorrow's version of GT3 cars to an extent, and it might also be a reaction to GT3 and Assetto Corsa Competizione. So if you want to sit, Jake Sperry always has a good way of looking at things, and he'll make you think whether you agree or disagree with him. So you might want to check that one out at Sim Racing Observer to find out why they're moving over to the GTEs. We're running the GTE, so it makes me happy. I'm in a motion sim here. A really easy thing to do with the motion sim, a seat mover, is to put seat belts on it with springs on the back of the belts. And that way, when it pulls forward, it tensions those springs, and it gives you an effect of the belts pulling on you, even though you're actually pulling on the belts. Now, for those who don't move or don't have motion, what you'd swear was going on was some kind of motors winding in the seat belts, because you know it's not a real-life seat belt, you're in a sim. Anyway, Driving Italia has this really cool image of Simulator Giant Truck presents the new pre-tensioned belts. And this is literally like what you would think the other type were, and anybody who's ever used tensioners on a seat mover knows exactly what I'm talking about. But here are tensioners that are gonna, this is a static seat, I do believe, and it's gonna zip those belts tight under braking, giving you more immersion, more sense of G, maybe even more control of the car as you realize how hard you're braking. So we are over. Look at that, 32, we are over. I only have a couple more and then we'll call it a day, and that'll be a great way to kick off Monday with so much to talk about. eSport WTCR Ascaro Online Championships set for lift off, excuse me. So in Race Room, WTCR Ascaro and WTCR, this whole thing is going to be pretty much the biggest, the big, in my opinion, in the Race Room side of things. So they are getting ready to kick off. And do we have a date here? I don't. Launched. eSport WTCR Ascaro was launched at the Nürburgring in May. 7 rounds of time attack from August 15th until November 6th. So this is going on almost right away. So gear up for that one. Let's see, what else? Oh, this is a cool story. So Larson, one of the F1 eSport draftees, Kimi Larson, there's a whole cool story here at Autosport.com, how when he got to the draft, he literally was forced to call home to get his car set up. So little panic, little craziness going on in the final moments of everything. And if you want to read about his experience there and what caused him to go running to the phones just to be able to take care of business, you could read about it, and I thought it was kind of a cool title. And what I'll finish with, the best deal I could find out there today is, and I think there are only 2 of them available still, at Newegg, Lenovo Explorer VR headset for PC and notebook, only $110. That is ridiculously cheap for a Lenovo Explorer. Wow. Lenovo Explorer VR headset. There you go. So that's going to do it for today's show. Tonight at 6, instead of Monday Fun Day, we are going to be doing practice. I'm going to host another practice room for the Sim Pit Rick Motec Endurance team. We'll be turning more laps at Le Mans, just getting the team more and more dialed in. I'm actually going to be driving with one of our drivers this afternoon as well. So lots going on, but we'll be streaming that at 6 if you want to watch that and see the team preparing. We should have a good handful of the guys out there in our team paints. That should be fun. And then, of course, we'll be back tomorrow morning with another edition of the Pit Stop. So happy Monday to y'all. Hope you're at a great weekend. Hope this sets things off for a great week. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.